The tape that we're going over, we've been basically dealing with legal research and writing. We began with the responsive pleadings regarding how to address a matter and setting forth the facts after that, which the other four tapes did do. Now we're moving on the civil side of the complaints, but we're just beginning in the federal district courts.
Okay.
So that we have somewhat of a format of what we're working with here. Now, somebody was saying something.
In particular.
Well, okay. Right here, the most important part that we have to write it down after this gets on everybody's paper, we'll take it off, is the complaint. The complaint is like part of the cap. It's going to be, this is not really how your document's supposed to look in the first place.
No.
I'm just giving you an idea here. It'll have more space. I'm going to take this down. Just wanted to make sure that you get this there, and then move on and show you how to pick up the papers.
So the first important part of this is status.
Well, at all times, when writing something out, when you're dealing with the courts or any legal parameters of the law, you should establish the status part first.
Yeah.
So that determines the choice of law that you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you said, you can't be claiming to be a Moor and then a citizen of colonies at the same time, because then they're going to give you a 730 evaluation because you're nuts. And we know better than we think you are.
Yeah, we know better than that.
So, right here, we were dealing with first, we're talking about the parties. The parties got to be established who is who. Like in this one here, we put that the plaintiff, Jane Doe Ill, is of ancient, Moorish, hyphenated, Moroccan descent, and born in America.
Who domicile
in the continental state of New York, county of is Queens, Bronx, Kings, New York. And then the defendant, Mr. Jones or Jane Joe, whoever, Jones, is a citizen of the state of New York and a citizen of the United States.
Right.
Now, well, if that person there, although this is just a complaint, but you got to remember, this person right here is claiming something from Article 4, Section 2, Clause 1. This person here got privileges and immunities of the citizens of the state within inside the several states.
Yeah. Which falls into the 14th Amendment?
No, I said Article 4.
Article 4.
Right, the 14th Amendment is all those born and naturalized and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That's a totally different argument. That's whether this person is either born here, is either naturally here, or either he's subject to the jurisdiction thereof. But this type of phraseology in this work here deals with the privileges and the immunities. This brother here, or this sister right here, in setting off her claim, is dealing with privileges and immunities. This person here didn't claim any kind of privileges and immunities. This person claimed that he was of ancient Moroccan descent.
All right.
He didn't claim any privileges and immunities, but he claimed his birthrights.
But he's not claiming no citizenship.
No, he didn't claim that.
Yeah.
He's claiming that he's domiciled in the state of New York.
Is it necessary to claim citizenship?
Is it necessary to claim citizenship?
At that point?
No. Not to do any case in the federal district court, you don't need to state citizenship of this nation. You can even, and correct me if I'm wrong, you could be even an alien and bring a case against a citizen in the federal district court. Okay? Because even though they're alien, they still have rights. Because you got human rights. So somebody, let's say, you hit me with a car, or I bought something.
It's not even so much that, it's just that the obligations and duties that citizens have, that the law places on them, are what's used against them to bring them into court when they violate those duties and obligations.
Right. So, and then second of all, when you start speaking, you need to get up in here so that people can see you, so that we can do this properly here.
Oh, okay.
Islam. Islam. So, this is just the first part of it, that we're talking about the parties. The plaintiff and the defendant. We ain't gonna go too much into issues there, because that's a different subject, a topic that we'll be getting into. And then over here we have the complaint. This is the court, showing you the district court. We're in the federal district court here. So that's how that's gonna be. You know, everybody wrote that down, right?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why I'm gonna fix this over And then,
Let me ask you a question.
huh?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Before you get to that, had you had any other legal dealings with the court whatsoever pertaining to this particular case?
I got a couple of federal court cases in there now.
No, with this particular case.
No, this is just a format.
This is the beginning of this
No,
case?
this is only a format so
Right.
that you would understand how to
That's what I'm
prepare a
saying.
case.
You put up their complaint.
Right.
So that means this is the first
This is how you begin.
paperwork
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Yeah, this is the paperwork how you begin.
Yeah.
You want to fix it before it falls apart.
What's going
The
to
board, it goes inside that hole.
Oh, it's not gonna fall anyway.
It might.
Just the bottom. They got a screw in here, holding that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so we dealt with the parties. First, let me go back to the caption. The caption gonna have the district court up here. Okay, Southern District or whether you're Eastern District or whatever. Over here, you got the plaintiffs.
Now, question.
Hold on, plaintiff, and then the defendant. Okay? Now, your name's gotta be there. Your name's gotta be here first.
Right.
Then plaintiff is gonna be like on another level down.
Yeah.
And the other defendants over here, another level down.
What's the
Over
next
here,
one?
it's gonna say complaint,
Complaint, right.
okay? It might even say verified complaint.
And it's got a,
It might even say verified complaint. It's gonna get, after, it's gonna be notarized
it's got
also.
a serial number, right?
No, the court gonna have to give you all of that.
All
Yes, sir.
But when you see this here, this form that says it's always the plaintiff first and then defendant? It's always gonna be that way, no matter what?
Yeah, no matter what. So we'll have the defendant on top. If the defendant comes on top, the defendant becomes a plaintiff because now he's petitioning someone else. Hi, he would be the petitioner respondent
Okay.
or plaintiff respondent. See what I'm saying? Because now he's flipping the thing, and then the plaintiff will become the defendant.
Now, if I step up there for a minute,
The plaintiff will be the defendant plaintiff. Yes.
in cases like this, it's always plaintiff, defendant. But when you go to an appellate level, that's when it switches up. If the plaintiff, the original defendant in the original case, when he goes to the court of review, an appellate court, he becomes a defendant appellate. Defendant appellate, and the plaintiff in the original case becomes the plaintiff appellee. Understand?
That's like, it's a case against a case, basically. It's like defending a case. It's like, in other words, it's like, you got a case against me and I'm rebuttaling your case, basically.
No.
You're appealing.
When you appeal it,
Yeah.
when you go to a higher
When
court.
you're appealing it.
Right, now
Court
you,
of appeals.
You're bringing it, so now you become defendant appellant, because the appellant is the party who brings it, and the
appeal
appellee is the one who has to answer.
On what was, you basically,
Right.
on being unjustified.
so that's, then over there, the court will give you its docket number
Yeah.
later on.
That's what the court
You know,
does.
it'll say most, if it's criminal, if it's civil, it'll say civil. If it's criminal, it'll say criminal. See, all right? All right, it's either one. And the court will give you an index number. If it's formal corpus, you gotta wait till they accept it. Then once they accept it, then they give you an index number. If it's civil, same thing, formal corpus, they accept it, they give it to you. Otherwise, you gotta pay the fee. The fee is like $350, maybe $400. How you doing, brother? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, true.
Okay, that's just so you know about the top part of the paper. That's how it's supposed to look there.
Okay.
When your paperwork is done.
All right.
Okay? Oh. We got a lot of issues that we, to deal with. Just starting out with some form of format and keeping us abreast with different, because everything is not always criminal. We ain't always got to be on the defense. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times where you're on the offense. You know what I mean? Well, okay, now we're going to change this. We're going to play the new game now. Now I'm bringing you in, not you bringing me in.
So this, in other words, this is the regular This is the regular route to take.
This is the only route that you're gonna take whenever you're going into those courts. They're gonna give you a form and everything like that, that you're working with. I normally like criminal, for some reason, it seems to be a little bit more stimulating, because you're always being tried. It's not that I don't want to deal with this side here. We need to stay on the other side, because again, we're always being attacked. So to act like we're not going to be attacked even in any other matter, that's really nonsense. It's all written down. You're gonna always get
Stay on
attacked.
the defense, you saying?
Huh?
Stay on your defense.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm just, like say you may have a job and you got terminated from your job. Or let's say even, you could even have an apartment, okay? And you want to bring your landlord to court, okay? Because if he did something that violated federal law. That's what brings you into this court with him. See what I'm saying? Let's say you was buying some property from someone, and they, because of your race, your national origin, or your religion, they decided now that they met you, because your voice sounded like you was somebody else.
Yeah.
But then when they saw your person, they said, I think we just sold it. Sorry, sir, we wound up selling it. But they didn't sell it. They still looking for more buyers, but you don't know that. To somebody, you might even want to set them up and have your homie call up. Okay, you get somebody else, and you have him call him. When he calls up, they say, oh yeah, well, that property is available. Now you want to sue him. You see what I'm saying? You would go, say that again?
That's called steering.
Yeah, that would be, you would bring him into the federal district court on that. See what I'm saying? That would be under Title 42,
83.
No, 1982. 82 is the Fair, no, it's not coming. It's the Fair Housing Act. It would be under the Fair Housing Act. And then you would also want to sue them under 1981, under denying you the same rights as any other white person would have under contracts. And then maybe you want to go with the 1983. But remember, when you go with the 1983, you're subscribing, okay, to some extent, because to the 1806 Civil Rights Act. Because everybody that makes a lawsuit in court because a right is violated, they don't necessarily go to that civil right thing. They go to intentional torts.
Intentional torts.
Right. We go there. See what I'm saying? We don't always have to go there. We seem to think that that's the only place for us to go. But you don't have to go there. Now, let's say if you want to bring them into court for an intentional tort or something to that extent, now your complaint don't fall up under that civil rights stuff there. You're strictly dealing with a constitutional issue here, and no matter whether a contract was breached. You know what I'm saying? So you don't always got to do that Title 42, 1983 because somebody did you wrong. They could have did you wrong to the point that they injured you, okay, which that was why you went for the civil side. But again, that civil 1983 goes back to the 1866 Civil Rights Act that deals with the rights that Negroes was denied, that now they have the right on the granted privileges to be redressed those grievances. Okay? So, but it's being used universally, where it doesn't matter what color you are. The average person will bring a 1983 case into court.
But if you're going under the Negro Act, then that would mean that the courts basically have jurisdiction on how they want to play that.
Well, the court is going to do the Negro Act regardless to whether you even go up under it or not. Once they look at you, or they read your papers and they see who you saying that you is, you automatically go to the Negro Act. Now, let me see you get out of that. You know what I mean? They might even say that your issue, the way you raise it, is a moot issue. Let's say you try to say that I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen, you know, but yet it's stating, you know, I'm a United States citizen, but the 14th Amendment doesn't apply to me. Huh? They're gonna say that's a moot issue, man. That stuff been solved a long time ago, right? How can you be a United States citizen, but yet you're subject to the 14th Amendment?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
You might have a reason
Right, but
that you're a United States
the
citizen.
court is not concerned with whether you have a reason or not.
Sure. That's because you don't put your reason up at first.
Right. So therefore, the
Along with
court
your
don't
papers.
even care. It's not for them to say, well, why you think you're not a 14th Amendment citizen?
Yeah,
First, because they
practice the law from the bench, basically.
no, I think because they're more concerned with okay, the issue that you raise and who you saying that you are, and who they saying that
Has
they
to be in
are.
your contentions.
Right. So if your contention is stating that okay, you're more Moroccan descent, you're saying you're domiciled in the state of New York, so they would say for the sake of argument or their at first glance, they would state that, well, the plaintiff does not even claim to be a United States citizen.
Oh.
At first glance.
So that says.
He does not even claim to be a United States citizen, although he states he's resided within one of the states.
Okay, so that'll send it into another direction, right?
Sure, you're going to send him into another direction. You might send him in a direction that you don't even want to go in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir?
No, no.
You know what I'm saying? Because right there is where you might get yourself
Jam.
not a jam, but a dismissal to the extent that they state that they don't have jurisdiction.
Okay.
Because you brought that claim.
Yeah.
And let's say, here's a real good one for you. Let's say you brought that civil claim into there, right? And, well, we can't go there yet because, right, that's jumping ahead of the gun. I'm going into the Zodiac. It's going ahead of the gun. I can't do that.
No, that's all right.
We're still only dealing with the party. We've got to deal now with the jurisdiction. And that's why I can't jump ahead of the gun.
Okay.
So we need to deal with the jurisdiction.
All right.
In between, if in any time, Rajyiid, you want to jump in there, you can. No, I will.
Yeah, because we need it all. We need it all, brother.
Well, only eat as much as your stomach can take.
Right.
Don't let your eyes get bigger than your stomach.
Yeah, but listen.
Yes, sir.
But listen, no, wait, let me finish that out. So now, if I eat,
Uh-huh.
and my plate is full, and I decide I want a doggy bag,
Ain't nothing here for you.
Good doggy bag, but while you wait,
Ain't no doggy bags
food
around.
digest.
The doggy bag is your homework. The doggy bag is your homework. The doggy bag is your
There's a
homework
fee
at
for that
best.
too.
Right. Okay, now we're going into jurisdiction. I don't want to bend down here too much. Y'all got righteousness off the board? Yes, sir.
Is there ever a situation where you can be a war and decide for that particular case you want to switch and be a citizen of the United States?
That's 7:30.
I didn't show.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. A person can choose to subject itself to anything you choose to subject itself to. You want to choose, if you want to subject yourself to, if you want to subject yourself to persecution or prosecution or whatever, all you gotta do is not put up a defense.
Advantage. Is there ever advantage? I came in this week as a Moor and won the case. Okay, and a month later,
came back.
it was a different case. I'm a U.S. citizen. And
So
the
you
judge said,
disadvantage
I remember
yourself.
you last month.
The answer to your question about the advantage is that you disadvantage yourself. Because whatever rights a Negro have, I have.
Did you
Whatever
say-
rights a U.S. citizen have, I have. But just that the U.S. citizen ain't got the rights that I got.
Oh, so you
Yes,
say
ma'am?
there's never an advantage.
All I'm doing, I ain't taking nothing away from you. So like, people think that when they claim their nationality, they're denouncing the citizenship. You're not denouncing the citizenship because you never had one under the 14th Amendment. So when you claim a nationality, then you're actually claiming a citizenship. So now whatever rights that citizenship that is granted to the 14th Amendment, everybody already have those rights. The 14th Amendment did not create any rights that didn't already exist.
Right.
You understand?
You
The
don't
only
even
thing,
get
it
it.
limits your rights. It limits you to the same amount of rights that other people may have. Because yours is just within the legislative boundary. And other people who have the same right that you have on the legislative boundary have other rights that is not even inclusive to the legislative boundary.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
I'd like to point out, in answer to his question, if you take both sides of that, the FBI might step in if you're involved in federal court and claim you're committing perjury. Because when you sign these papers, you're signing them under oath.
Yes, you do it that way.
Well, I mean, if you just went in there and the only reason they're going to determine that you're a U.S. citizen is not because you said, I'm a U.S. citizen, so prosecute me as a U.S. citizen. No, it's because you didn't say you were anything other than a U.S. citizen. Therefore, you're going to walk into a platform of a U.S. citizenship function under the 14th Amendment. And, well, what would you be doing there?
Anybody got a temple card on?
What would you be doing there if you weren't a citizen under the 14th
Right.
Amendment?
So now you have to play yourself out.
Exactly, unless you're there telling them, hey, this is the wrong platform for me on the grounds that I'm not a party born and naturalized under the 14th Amendment. But in fact, I'm this type of national, or that type of national.
Nationality fund.
Yes.
You
Understand?
This is very important because we're going to continue building on this area too. But I just want to bring up something. and we take it from there, continue on. Next, we go into the, under that other part there, we have jurisdictions.
That's a whole different paper.
No, it's the same paper. We're moving down the line. Moving down the line. It's the same paper. We're just moving down. We did the parties. Now we're doing jurisdiction. Yes, sir. Huh?
You got any more of the material you gave them?
No, we're not. I haven't dealt with any material today.
Okay.
Not yet.
Is that valid?
No. This is the United States of America Republic. Who made this? What's this?
Nature.
Oh, no, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Moorish Science Temple card. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not, it says United States Republic.
This comes out of,
Asbury Park.
Okay.
That's a federal republic.
Aside from this here, if you notice on the Moorish Science Temple card, at the bottom, you have USA. Okay?
yeah.
We have a lot of groups out here that have very different identification cards, and not saying that either one of them are valid because they all have their place.
Right.
And each one of those individual brothers and sisters are actually doing their part to the level of their own intellectual capacity to explain and exchange this spiritual knowledge that they have received. So it's not a matter of, well, brother didn't come from here, so that ain't correct. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge is proper, you just need to learn to work it. But the point that I'm raising is that the fundamental cards that are in existence is Moorish Science Temple card and Clock of Destiny card. All other cards are basically, they grade you. You know what I mean?
They're good, but
They're good. It's just add it
You gotta know how to
on.
work them.
Right. No, it's not even just you gotta know how to work them because you don't really need no cards. I mean, what we always teach is that if you can't defend your birthright butt naked with a sheet on, you ain't really got nothing no way.
Yeah, right.
So just because, oh, I got this card, I got this today,
That
take
don't
all those
mean-
cards,
that don't really mean
put them through the shredder.
Yeah.
So now what you got?
right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be who you are. The card is not you. You know what I'm saying? It's only prima facie evidence of a claim of your contentions of what you're stating.
And the spirit has got to be in what you say.
Your mental
Right.
is mine.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, this thing here now, going back to it, we're not stating that we're outside of anything. We're saying that it says USA. It don't say United States citizens.
It's different.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't say United States citizens on the nationality card. It don't say U period S period or U period S period A period. It says USA.
So-
I am a citizen of the USA.
Right, so when they ask Todd Storage Bay about that,
Yeah.
he says, unified, no, it says United Salvation Allah.
Well, that's what he say. I mean,
I heard that too.
I don't deal with different,
What I'm just saying.
That's what I heard too. USA stands for another card.
my thing is that, my point is that know what you have
Yeah,
and know what you're working with.
I know how to work it.
And if you're just going to be an individual that accept things on face value
Yeah.
and say because someone told you something and you go back out and regurgitate it and you find yourself running into a brick wall, well then you deserve to hit the brick wall.
You can be dragged for the ride.
Okay? Because these teachings automatically tell us and it gives us instructions.
Yeah.
You got instructions right here, divine instructions. These instructions will lead you to the clock of destiny and any other knowledge that you're dealing with from a moralistic standpoint of view and an intellectual standpoint of view, but you know how to deal with people intelligent. That's why he says in Moorish literature, go to those in City Hall that know law and ask them in an intelligent tone, and they'll be glad to render you a favorable reply. There's nothing that he doesn't say in here that's not intelligent. Okay, so it's what you're working with, you know what I'm saying? You have to know how to come back and deal with people and not be so much a standoffish. I mean, I'll give you an example. Even making the claim that you just made, and you went up in the court and they started arguing with you regarding what that term meant. You just get yourself all beat down. The reason why? That's already copyrighted. That term is already copyrighted. It's not a word that they don't use that's not already copyrighted. The name Negro, Black, and Colored is already copyrighted.
Copywritten.
Right, those are copywritten material that if you infringe upon it, their rights over you, they'll do you. I have the right to do what I want to you. What do you mean? It is, it's copyrighted. What are you, an African American? It's copyrighted. I created that term.
So you say you
Come on,
commit
Joe,
an
make your mind
infringement
up. What
if
do
you
you
use
wanna
that
be?
word?
I'm saying those terms are already copyrighted, so if you try to take it outside of that scope of what they mean, you're infringing upon their rights to use that document. It's like them trying to infringe upon you on your moral
Words you
side.
cannot read the file.
Are they copyrights in Canada, right?
No, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You got international copyrights and local copyrights.
All right.
If you want to learn copyright, you got to go to Title 17, and you start learning about copyrights.
Yeah.
Title 17 is for the copyrights of our work. But I'm going back again to this jurisdiction. We got, then from here, you got to state where the jurisdiction lies for the court to hear the matter. So you would write over here, okay? And for the future, when we're holding these classes, I don't care nothing about what nobody else teaches. I don't want to even deal with I don't care what they told anybody else.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply in this house.
Okay.
That's their house. They taught it, they're responsible for it.
Let them deal with it.
Okay? When I teach, we teach from the board, and you all know. I take you to the courthouse, we go to the library. That's your survival guide and everything else that you need. All of the statutes, all of the codes, all of the forms, international, state, local, and federal, and all of your digests and your dicentennials and everything else you need. It's all there. That's what I work with. I don't work with templates. I don't work with none of those types of things. You want to create those things, go to the library, go to the corpus juris secundum, take those words lead you to cases, those cases lead you to precedents in law, and they show you what statutes and the Constitution applies. Those are the things that don't apply in this house. And it only creates friction. Yeah, I don't deal with that. It's not.
This is the USC, United States Code, okay.
This and the previous stuff that we put on the board are the most important 2 points when you begin your writing in federal district court, even in the state. If it's on the civil side and you're in the state Supreme Court, you still have to write similar things here, but you're coming from a different law. You're coming from the CPL&Rs, because you're in the state. State statutes and CPLRs and stuff of that nature. If you're in the federal level, you deal with the federal district court, you deal with federal laws. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to find the case books and the statutes, federal and state, that apply to each venue. Let's say we was in international law. Then there's a different venue, because For one, I mean, if we, let's say we was an international law, we're in the federal district court, we gotta automatically go for Article 6. And I believe we'll be dealing with 1333 because it deals with the Constitution and the laws made thereof, as well as treaties. Under 1343, it would be 1, might be 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. There's various different sections that go all the way down, civil rights, what may have you. Under 1331, it's talking about the venue, because you're in the Southern District